Hi, and welcome to this video on setting up folder connections between your Business Central and your SharePoint. I'm Eric from eFocus, and in this video we're going to map our data that we have inside Business Central to a folder structure on SharePoint. If you haven't seen the first video on how to set up the connection between the two, I suggest you go do that. Because this is a direct continuation of what we did in the first video. So I need to find my Business Central. I got it right here, and I still have a SharePoint. And just to verify that my SharePoint's connection is good, I can go into the SharePoint setup and see that I'm connected to SharePoint. I have 0 map tables right now. So let me go and look at that. So the first setting we have is something called the base folder, and I have created well, you get that when you create a SharePoint, but there is a document library called Shared Documents, and that'll be the root of all the stuff that we're storing. There's some other options in here. We can auto upload sales documents, invoices, purchase documents, and we can specify a subfolder to put that, where to put that. We can also print, so now SharePoint is also a printer, so we specify what is the folder name for SharePoint printing and the paper size. But let's go into table mapping. Table mapping is basically the process of saying, when we have a piece of data inside Business Central, where does that belong? And I will just go with a simple one and saying customers. So what I want is a folder where I keep my customer information, and inside that a folder per customer. So we have 2 mapping methods in the SharePoint connector. It can either be name based, meaning that we are actually mapping a specific entities, a specific customer to a specific table, to a specific folder. Or the other one is reference, meaning that depending on what data you have, you might get into one folder, and if you change the data, you might get into another folder. More about that one later. So now we'll use the name number one, and I'll say that they live in a folder called customer demo. The caption field, so when we create a folder for a customer, what should be the caption of the folder? How should we name the folder? I'll use my customer name. And then we have a caption specification field. And this is because you might have 2 customers who are named the same, and they should not go into the same folder. So I'll use the customer number here. It could be a different identifier, if that makes sense. So now we're saying that we need customer information in a customer demo folder, and within it a folder for each customer inside that one. So that's done. I'll close this one. I'll head into customers. And let me find a random customer down here. How about, these are both in Danish and in English and so on. How about the London Light Company? So now that I've created a table mapping, the fact box for SharePoint will show up. If I go into vendor and locate a random vendor and opening the vendor card, there is no fact box on the right side because we have not added a table mapping. So unless there is a table mapping, the fact boxes will not show. And let's upload a document to SharePoint. I will head into something. Well, how about a photo? Here's a nice photo. And we have a photo, I can click on the photo, and that's a very good band from when you were actually allowed to play music outside. And I can say, let's browse on SharePoint. And we can see that we have the documents, which is our root folder, the shared documents. I have a folder called customer demo. And in this one, I get a folder for each customer. And inside this customer, the file we just uploaded is here. So to recap, I'll type SharePoint mapping. We added a line saying connect customers to this table and create entity folders with these informations. There are some other ways of doing this. Another one could be that we want to create a table for, we want to create a folder for a transaction. So if I take GL entry, but a GL entry, the primary key of a GL entry is not really a useful information because that's just an entry number, and that's only when it's posted. So in this case, we will use the reference number. And I will create another folder called finance demo here. And I will say that the caption field in this case would be document number. We don't need a caption spec field for this. So that's the posted information. But let's then find another table. Let's find the GL. See, I have to browse and talk at the same time. So the general journal line. So the general journal line, and also do name number on that one. Also do reference on that one. Finance demo. So I use the same folder, and I specify the document number here also. So now, if we're in the general journal and we add documents to a journal that we are working on, those documents will be attached to the document number. So when we're posting the journal, we can still find the documents from the posted entries. Another example of this could be, I will go into sales header and do a reference number again, saying that this is now sales demo. And the field number here would be the number of the order. It could also be the reference number if you're using that. And then I could go to, let's find 112, the sales invoice header. So the posted, and say reference number, sales demo. But now it's not the number because the posted invoice is different from the sales order. So now it's actually, let's use the search function here. Now it's actually the order number that we're using to get to the same set of documents. I will end this video with another demo. This is going to the advanced usage. Let's talk about jobs for a moment. So I'll find the jobs table, and I will do a name number here. So I will put that into a folder called jobs, and I'll do the usual description number here. But I would actually like all my jobs to be placed in a folder below the customer. So I can go in now and say, okay, put it in the place of the customer. So now it will take a look at this line and say, okay, where are customers located? So it will find that customer folder and then create a folder called jobs inside that one. And inside that, the jobs folder, it will create a folder for each job. The only thing we're missing for this to work is that we need to tell what field on jobs will find the right customer. In this case, it's built to customer. And there we go. So now we can also map jobs. So if I go into jobs, find a job here, the Guildford, and I have SharePoint. Let me upload that wonderful photo again. We got the photo uploaded. Let me browse to SharePoint to show the structure. So, documents, customer demo, Concord Water Department, jobs, setting up 10 conference rooms. So, we use the power of the data structure inside Nav to manually, absolutely not manually, automatically create the folder structure in SharePoint. And I think that ends this video. In the next one, we'll discuss how to create metadata on the documents we are updating and how to generate documents. Thanks for watching.